Hey, my name's Helianthus Cryptid, or Nephilim if you prefer. Welcome to my cozy corner of the internet. Going back to school is approaching, and I'm excited for a new beginning. Talking of new beginnings, another fandom has appeared on this channel. I am finally bringing you the first chapter of Skating of Lust, written by Dropout author on AO3. This fanfiction is inspired by the villain Reki POVs made by @VSappenRover on TikTok. Now I implore you to sit back and relax whilst I read to you. Chapter 1. Who's that kid over there? The one with the red hair? I don't think I've seen him at S before. Huh? Prince Reki? You're in the S community, and you don't know about Prince Reki. Isn't Reki that redhead kid who used to hang out and linger behind snow? Why is he called Prince all of a sudden? Well, the rumour has it. The crowd were all whispering amongst themselves as Reki leaned back in his chair. Master Reki, please, at least sit properly. He looked up at Tadashi with a raised eyebrow. This is S, not one of those fancy parties you and Adam always drag me along to. It's called socializing and making connections. It's boring. Anyways, who's competing tonight? Any battles? None that you would be interested in. Shadow and Joe were apparently supposed to battle it out, but they postponed it due to one of Joe's girlfriends throwing a fit. She thought Shadow would throw a dirty trick again. Wouldn't be surprised if he did. It's his thing to play dirty. Always has been. Reki mumbled and thought back to his first battle with the older clown. I thought you used to be friends with them. Tadashi turned around, looking the younger up and down. He had his hands tucked into the pockets of his jacket, and a facial expression that clearly stated he would like to be anywhere else but here. Emphasis on the used to. I don't hang out with the third-grade losers anymore. Whatever you say, sir. Oh. Tadashi looked out towards the crowds as Joe and Cherry approached the duo. Now this is interesting. He smirked to himself. Reki pulled out his phone, not wanting to bother with them. He gritted his teeth as he moved his right hand out of his pocket on his jacket. It was still slightly damaged from his injury a couple days ago. Perhaps he should head to the hospital and get it checked out. I want to speak with him, Tadashi, not you or your fucking security guards. Cherry's voice was cold as ice while he spoke. The 3 security guards that stopped the pair from getting closer to Tadashi and Reki were just sitting there. That's too bad, Kaoru. You'll have to earn a right to speak with the young master. Who the fuck do you think you're talking about? That's Reki, and not Shindo. Joe snapped as Tadashi simply kept standing firm in front of Reki, blocking the pair's view to see him along with the security guards. I don't know what the hell is going on here, Tadashi, but Reki hasn't been to S in over a year, and when he finally returns he's swarmed with security guards and accompanied by you. Is this some kind of sick joke by Inosuke? Kaoru said, trying to keep calm, unlike his partner who was already punching it out with 2 of the security guards. Let him talk, Tadashi, it's fine. Reki said and stood up. Tadashi looked back hesitantly, before nodding as he stepped away. As you wish, young master. he said while stepping away, but the security guards remained in place. Reki walked over, looking at Kaoru and Kojiro. "What are you doing, Reki? Why are you with a man like that?" Kojiro asked, almost pouting as he couldn't understand how Reki would willingly hang out with Shindo's dog. "I learned something new today, Tadashi," he said and looked over at his assistant. "Backstabbers always come crawling back for mercy." A chuckle left his lips as he looked back at Kaoru with a slight upward smile. "Cherry, let's race. Me and you, Saturday, in 2 weeks. "Why would I bother racing a brat?" Kaoru had asked the question to hear Reki whine, but was instead greeted by a bigger smirk. "Hey Carla," Reki said and looked down at Cherry's skateboard. "How big are the chances of your master winning against me, Reki, in a race?" "According to my recent calculations, for the time being, the chances of winning against Reki in a race are 6%. Kaoru's head immediately turned down to look at his board. 6? That's got to be a miscalculation. "It is not, sir. My calculations are never wrong, unless I have been drinking, of course." He glared at Reki. "There's no chance in hell that my chances of winning against an ungrateful brat such as yourself is simply just 6%. Your challenge request is rejected. Come back when you're not acting like a fucking twat." "What is that I hear? You're turning down a challenge. Could it be that you're afraid to lose, Cherry? Afraid to lose to someone who's 10 years younger than you?" Reki teased as Tadashi sighed, pulling out his phone to call for a car to pick them up. Reki pushed the guards away while walking toward the pink-haired man. Everyone in S was paying attention to the two. Even the ones who were about to race forgot about it for a while. "Race me, Cherry. Race me and I'll show you how it feels to lose against a brat." "You don't want to wait 2 weeks? Then how about we race tonight, right here and right now?" As he spoke, Tadashi pulled Reki away and towards the car that had arrived. "You're not racing anyone tonight. We're going home." Tadashi was strict in his tone, which made Reki shut up because he knew he had no chance when the older was strict like this. "That was reckless of you, Kian Reki." Adam, who had been sitting in the car that arrived for them, said once the doors were closed. "You're one to talk, Adam." The younger mumbled back and looked out the window as they drove out of the S area. "I'm serious, my sweet child. Challenging one of us legends, as some might call us, is beyond reckless. You don't stand a chance against Kaoru when you can't even win against me yet." He scolded his student, fully aware that Reki only wanted to prove himself to those who doubted him a year ago. Even Carla's calculation said he only had 6% chance of winning. That is still 6 whole percentages in his favor. Do you think just because you had the other 94 that your victory was assured? Unless your victory is guaranteed with 100%, then I think it's not worth risking it. Do you understand? He didn't give him a reply, just put on his headphones and started blasting music to block out the scolding. "Oh, Reki, my beloved son!" Inosuke sighed dramatically. "He's not your son, sir," said Tadashi. "My beloved almost son!" remarked Inosuke as he smiled wider. Why does he have to be your son? Tadashi responded. Because I view him as a father, my sweet Tadashi. You are his mother. I'm the personal assistant to both of you. As well as his mother. Just keep quiet, Tadashi. Inosuke said with a visible annoyance on his face when Tadashi didn't play along with him. Where was I? Oh yes. Oh, Reki, my beloved son, who's not really my son. It pains my heart when you ignore me like that. I simply want to protect you from grave injuries. Is that too much to ask for? Tadashi looked over at Reki, sighing as he pulled out his laptop to do some paperwork. Reki, it would please the master if you would at least acknowledge his concerns for you, he simply commented, as the other rolled his eyes before pulling off his headphones. You get 2 minutes. Inosuke's face slightly reddened from Reki's attitude as he grit his teeth. What's your tone when you speak to me, boy? Without me picking you up from the curbside all depressed, you'd be nowhere. You wouldn't be the infamous redhead you're now without my help. Inosuke raised his hand to signal for the driver to pull over. You either fix your attitude, he shoved the door of the car open, or you get the hell out of my car! He snapped, eyes glaring at the younger redhead. I can end your entire fucking career. If you leave this vehicle, that also includes everything that I gave to you. When Reki's eyes quickly looked down at the pin on his jacket, Inosuke smirked before reaching over and ripping the pin off. Your precious S badge is not an exception, Prince Reki. Is that understood? Reki's eyes averted away and back to the window, looking out of it. I'm sorry, he mumbled quietly. Inosuke nodded, signaling for the driver to continue the ride home to Reki's apartment. Back at S, people were still whispering in regards to what they'd witnessed. Obviously, no one had heard the conversation between Cherry and Prince Reki, but people still had a somewhat clue about what the conversation was about. What's going on? Longa and Mia, who just arrived at S, walked over to Kaoru and Kojiro. Everyone's whispering amongst themselves. Did we miss something? Mia studied the nervous expressions on their faces, his smile dropping. Reki showed up, didn't he? Longa turned his head towards Mia, his eyebrows raised before looking back at Kaoru and Kojiro so they could confirm if it was true or not. Kaoru avoided eye contact with Longa as Kojiro started fixing his jacket. Cherry, Joe, answer his question! Longa grabbed a hold of Kaoru's collar, glaring at him. Did Reki show up, yes or no? The cold, serious tone in his voice and the narrow eyes were the result of his best friend vanishing without a word right after graduation. Snow, calm down. Let go of Cherry and then we can talk, Kojiro said before receiving a kick in the shin by Mia. Shut up, muscle-bound gorilla! Cherry. He's not the Reki you used to know. You should forget about... Reki will always be my Reki. He won't change for anyone. Longa cut Kaoru off, pushing him away. I was considering racing tonight, but I need to find Reki. Mia, let's go, he mumbled before turning on his heel to leave. The younger hesitantly followed after him. Where are you even gonna look? I don't think he wants you to find him, Mia said, skating next to him as they headed out of S. There's one place I haven't checked yet. Longer spoke through gritted teeth as he pulled out his phone, dialing for a cab to come and pick them up. He already had a feeling of what the answer would be, but decided to ask either way. Which is? As he looked up at Longer, his face paled from the sight. It was as if the older had murder in his eyes. Adam, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate all the support you've given me. I apologise for the lateness of this video. England has been having thunderstorms which did mess with my recording schedule, but I thank you for your patience. I go back to college on Thursday and I am very excited. All credits go to the original creator of this fan fiction, Dropout Author on AO3. I would highly appreciate it if you gave this video a like and you subscribe to the channel and you hit the notification bell to be notified of when I next upload. There is no pressure to do so though. Thank you for visiting my cozy corner of the internet. Keep growing my sunflowers. Mwah!